Hello and welcome to Super OK, where we try to do a decent enough job to entertain people with our opinions on video games. As always, my name is Dale, and I am joined here by two absolutely amazing human beings who, and I'm just going to say this right off the rip, I love, and I haven't had a chance to spend a lot of time with them. So I'm really excited to be able to spend some time with you guys because we took a little bit of time off during the holiday. Mel, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was wonderful and fattening and delicious, and I was really happy about it. How was yours?
You know, it was really solid, actually. I got to spend time with Angie's family, and then we drove out to Chicago. I got to spend time with all of my family over there. Got to spend time with the Nibblings, who I rarely get a chance to hang out with. It was absolutely delightful. What about you, Gannon? How was your Thanksgiving?
My Thanksgiving was great. It was filled with people, lots of time with the family. I was finally starting to feel healthy over Thanksgiving, which is great. I've been pretty sick for the last forever, and
like straight up, like 6 months.
Yeah, it was real bad. It was like 6 weeks, but yes, it was not a great time. But I'm back. I'm feeling good. And I'm here to lower the average IQ of our podcast. So that's what I need for.
That's fair.
Not you. That's me.
I don't think that's fair for any of you. Although I will say, Gannon, this is the first time I've seen you on Facecam in a long time, and your transition into Lord of the Rings style dwarf is coming along magnificently. That beard is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's a very fantastically thick beard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm shaving it this week, so I'm sorry.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm going to take it down pretty low.
Take a photo of it and put it in the Discord before you do so, please, because it looks good.
Thank you.
Like you are real close to wizard beard length. I love it.
No, I wish I could grow it longer but it's not the right choice for my audition, so I need to shave it down.
Yeah, that I'm not going to lie. That is probably the saddest news I've gotten all week, but that's not what we talk about here at Super OK. Instead, we talk about our highlight of the week, the thing that we like the most out of our past week, the thing that made our week a little bit better, a little bit brighter, a little bit nicer to live in. Who would like to go first?
I can go first. I haven't done one in a bit. So my big highlight is, like I said, with Thanksgiving, I got a lot of family time. We had my parents here, my mother-in-law here, my nieces and nephew here. It was great to have so much time with them for 3 weeks. But you know what's great? After all that wonderful time with family, when they leave and you get your life back. It's been a long time. I'm really happy to finally feel healthy and have my evenings back to normal, which is great. And in those evenings, I've been playing a lot of Children of Morta. I've definitely thrown that suggestion out in the Discord a few times, and now I have a different medium to talk about it, so I will. Here I am spouting my love of it again. Just a fantastic little roguelike with just a nice story about family and kind of coming together and great combat, great characters. And I really love the narrator. It's none of the characters have dialogue. It's all done in narration. And I enjoy that storytelling style.
Yeah, I definitely took your advice on this and downloaded it. It plays great on the Steam Deck. And I've really been enjoying it. It's fun because it's the stakes are high, but they're not so high, and so it's things like, oh, you come back from a run. It's a roguelike. You come back from a run and it's like, oh, you've got a new pet. Mm-hmm. Awesome, and it's just like the narrative is very light and airy, but at the same time, it's like it does do a good job conveying a sense of danger. So I've really been enjoying it. Thank you immensely for the recommendation.
Have you guys played the DLC for this? Because it looks like it's on sale on Steam right now for really cheap.
When I bought it in the Thanksgiving week sale, and I got everything for like $7 or something like that.
Okay.
I don't actually even know what the DLC does. I do own it.
Gotcha.
I just rolled credits tonight.
I have not
congrats.
downloaded the DLC, and I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. Because they're doing a bundle right now where you get the base game and 2 of the DLCs on Steam for like $7.89. So click purchase for myself. That happened.
That makes sense.
Another one bites the dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I love being on a podcast with you guys because I get to learn so much about like these games, but like my wallet kind of hates me for it because every single time that you guys recommend a game, I'm like, oh, that does sound fun. Let me just go buy that.
Good news. It appears that I already purchased the DLC and did not know.
Nice.
I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what we all did when we bought it because it was on sale for so cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 79 cents for the paid DLC if you didn't buy it in the bundle.
Yeah, the Paws and Claws DLC is legitimately 79 cents.
So cheap.
Yes. So, what about you, Mel? What's your highlight of the week?
Yeah, so speaking of video games, I have been playing a game called Lethal Company. It's kind of like the new hot trending, co-op game that's out there right now. I've been playing it with my husband and a couple of like my Discord friends, and it has been a lot of fun. It is essentially you're a group of people that get contracted by this company to go to these different moons, and you have to go and collect scrap. But you don't know what's on these planets in terms of like monsters that are out there. Like there's different environmentals and things like that. And we play with proximity chat. So like you may not know what's happening to the other person that's across the map. And that's what makes it so fun is because like at 1 minute you think one of your your friends are dead, and the next thing they show up right behind you doing something. Or you hear the screams of your, player or your partner like on the radio, and then like it goes radio silent. It's just very funny how people die. It's been a lot of fun playing with friends and just seeing how much money you can collect and dying by weird things. But on top of Lethal Company being a really fun game, Josh and I recently just spent Christmas together because we're not necessarily going to have Christmas here in the States. So I'm going to be over in Thailand. So we just celebrated Christmas together, and I got a brand new iPad, and I have like never been so happy to get an iPad. Like I've been using it every single day because I just like searching up on the internet or like being in Discord with my iPad. 10 out of 10. Love my iPad.
That is awesome. What did you get him? What did you get him?
I got him a Steam Deck dock because he really wanted to get one of those. Totally worth. And then I also got him a gift that I have put in this episode, so we can talk about that later.
Ooh,
I know.
Hey. I also have the Steam Deck dock, and it was a great purchase. So absolutely awesome buy. Cool. I want to talk a little bit about my highlight of the week. I had a chance this weekend to officiate my friend Megan's wedding. It was awesome. I've been a friend of her and her family's for like, I don't know, 2 decades or something. And this was, this is like the 7th wedding that I've officiated, but this one was a little extra special because her mother passed about 3-4 years ago now, basically like right at the beginning of the pandemic. And so she wanted to include something memorializing her in it. And so I had the opportunity to do that as well. And I've never, a lot of people ask you to do weddings when you're ordained through the Universal Life Church. Not too many people asking you to do funerals. And so it was just nice to have a forum to say something meaningful about a person who lived a beautiful life, and to do that in a celebration of love and marriage and all of that was just a truly awesome experience, a real honor to be a part of. And also like everything at the wedding just went like super smooth. which is
Ooh,
wild. Most weddings,
yeah.
that's not the case. Like the food, it was all vegan, but it was all above average quality food. Like it was delicious. The DJ was really good. The photographer was awesome. She got married at the Royal Oak Farmers Market, and it was gorgeous. Like aunts and uncles showed up to like help decorate early, and they stayed late. Like it was just everything that could go right in a wedding did, and that was really cool.
Yeah, that's actually very awesome. I bet so many tears were cried that day just because it must have been just impeccable.
There were quite a few. Megan, on the other hand, has eyes of steel and did not shed a single tear during the ceremony. But I think it's because she knew I was trying to get her, and so she was like, "I'm not going to let you win, you bastard." So that's pretty good. One thing that was really weird, though, is because it was a wedding on December 2nd, it's like officially in the Christmas season, and they're both big Beatles fans. And so, you know how like the DJ is like, all right, everybody, this is the last song of the night. And then he plays like some slow song that's good to like go out on because you can dance with the person who brung you and all that.
Mhm.
This time, the DJ played So This Is Christmas, War Is Over. You know, the weird one where it's like, war is over.
What?
Yeah.
That's
It's real weird. And it's by John Lennon. They're both fans of the Beatles, but it was just easily the weirdest last
Yeah.
song that I've ever heard at a wedding. But the groom was so drunk that he convinced everybody to just get in like a big swaying circle during it. And that was kind of amazing as well. Just the whole dance floor of people just swaying and screaming to this song. And there's the part that's about Christmas, and then there's the part that's about war is over, and you don't have to sing the part you don't want to sing, you know. So
Yeah.
if you're a Christmas fan, you can sing the Christmas song. If you're just a social justice fan, you can sing the social justice part. And that was pretty great. And it was honestly, it was a wonderful moment,
yeah.
which is nice because generally Christmas is a capitalist hellscape. And as we scratch and claw our way out,
You know what side
2023.
Dale singing that night. Silent for a minute and a half and then singing super loud.
As we scratch and claw our way out of 2023, we have only one last hurdle until we are free, and that is the capitalist hellscape known as the Christmas season. While we here at Super OK cannot help you navigate the pitfalls of interfamiliar political dynamics, we can help you decide what to buy for your gaming inclined loved ones.
Why can't
So-
you help me with this, Dale? I need help with this.
That right there. That's why. That part. This episode might be a great one for you, or this might be a great episode for you to send to the people who you are hoping that they will buy you gifts. And you can say something like, "Hey, Aunt Helgarina, check out this specific episode of this podcast I enjoy and pay special attention to question number 3," or whatever. I'm not here to tell you how to give your gift ideas out, but that's one way you could do it. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to fill up Santa's giant red sack. Let's start with something that a lot of people struggle with. What is
wait. No, it's the name Helgarina. That's what I'm struggling with right now.
You think Aunt Helgarina knows shit about video games?
Uh,
She was born in 1906.
We just lost a listener over in Kazakhstan. I don't know. Helgarina.
Helgarina.
Helgarina, if you're out there listening, hop in the Discord. I will. We'll have you on as a guest. I promise. Anyway, let's start with something that a lot of people struggle with. You want to get a game for a gamer, but you don't know what they have. You don't necessarily know what their tastes are. You don't necessarily know, exactly what games they're looking for. And so you want to get them a non-game gift. What's a good non-game gift you can get for a gamer?
No, I'm gonna let my laziness win here and go straight off with the best one, which is delivery gift cards. If I can order food and have it delivered to my house so I don't have to get up while I'm playing games, that is the best thing, because I am a lazy piece of shit. And I don't have a Helgarina to come to my house and cook me a nice meal around Christmas.
A
So
nice stuffed Glumkey.
So that's number one for me. Also, just other things I think that are fun always is like Pops collectibles from franchises. I always find those things nice. You can take them to your office. You can keep them at home. You can put them wherever you'd like, and it just gives a little personality. Plus, it shows that people actually know what you care about. Like if they're like, oh, hey, like I've listened to the games that you're talking about. I think that's great. Also, along the gift card world, I think ET and Box Lunch right now are both putting out great things when it comes to t-shirts and designs that are not specifically like just a brand of a something. It's like a fun in-universe thing, or from Box Lunch. But ET has a lot of really cool custom designs for a lot of really popular games. And then last but not least, just super utilitarian, which is just a mini fridge. If a gamer doesn't have a mini fridge within reaching distance of where they normally play games, like, man, that is epitomal laziness of just being able to reach across, grab your drink, maybe order your food in your delivery. If you're done with your drink, put it in your little mini fridge. Get it later when you're ready to drink it again. That's my number one thing.
Wow. I love the delivery gift card idea. Like that is such a fantastic, because like there's some days where I'm just like, I don't want to do anything but play video games. Like I don't even want to make food. Like I would just rather have something get delivered to my house. Like that is like such a great idea.
I've got aliens to kill. I'll die before I stop. I will just not eat.
I'm grinding this entire weekend.
Yes,
I need to not leave this couch.
But like legitimately, Gannon, that is such a great call out, because the most valuable thing that a human has is time, and a delivery gift card saves you a bunch of time that you could otherwise be spent pressing buttons. And so like, I get it.
I'm going to go on a soapbox here too. This is also a fantastic gift for anybody who's like sick, or anybody who is going through tough times, or anybody who's like just had a baby or anything. A lot of people like to bring meals over, but then you got to like heat up the meal and stuff. Like delivery gift cards, man. It's the way to go.
God.
Yeah, I believe we sent you a ham.
You did,
if I remember correctly.
You did. It was amazing.
And the reason
it's a ham, you don't have to heat it up.
That's the thing. You don't
just
have
eat
to heat it up. You just okay. You went straight barbarian style. I was going to say you could make a sandwich, but yeah, off to the bone. It's great, perfect.
And you can use that ham bone for like making stock if you want later. Like it has so many uses.
Take it home, put it in some broth. Maybe you got a stew going. Yeah.
I'm really confused how you can get extra live in Super Smash Bros. By a ham bone.
That was a joke for 6 people, but it was a good joke. It was a good joke. I am going to piggyback off of your idea of delivery gift cards by saying, get the gamer that you love some snacks that are like the things that they wouldn't normally get themselves, right? Like some higher quality, like really good snacks that you're super passionate about, because those are the sorts of things like when I sit down to eat, or when I sit down to game and I'm like looking for something to eat, it's like, well, I guess I'm going to eat these old ass pretzel rods that have been on top of my fridge for 6 months. You know, I'm not like reaching for like a good quality snack, something that might be healthy or tasty or exotic or a new experience. And so giving that as a gift, I think, is an awesome, awesome idea. I also think one thing that you can always give to any gamer in your life, charging cables.
Totally.
It doesn't matter if they're the long ones, the short ones, the braided ones, the gold plated ones. I don't care. Charging cables are always going to be a useful thing for them. And it's the sort of thing where it's like, if I buy myself a charging cable, I like am buying it from a Walgreens because that's when I remember I need it, and it sucks. And so if you think about it ahead of time and you get me a nice one, it's going to go forever. And I'm going to think of you every time I use it, which is nice.
Yeah.
Along the same lines, I'm going to go with like a comfort thing. And I'm going to get super specific on this. Blankets with sleeves. You could
Yo.
say a slanket.
Yes.
You could. I've seen oversized. Like I got Ange this super huge oversized hoodie that's basically just like a giant blanket that goes over her entire body. Right. It's essentially like a fleece sleeping bag with a foothole. Right. But anything like that where it's like, oh, I can just melt into this cocoon and hold a controller inside of it and be warm and cozy and also kill these demons that need killing, you know?
Such a great idea. Yeah, I love a good blanket. The Snuggies now, I think they have like little foot pockets where like you can have like the blanket with the sleeves, but at the very bottom of it, there's like a little pocket that you can stick your feet in. So that way, like your feet are always covered by a blanket.
Nice.
It is fantastic.
Then you look like one of those little glowworm guys. Yeah.
So great.
That's a good life. Glowworm life? That's a good life. Bonus points if you get one of these that's like lined with like cotton or fleece or something. So it's like extra
Sherpa?
cozy. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. All right, since we're going on the train of comfort, socks. Everybody loves a good pair of thick socks, like during the winter when you're gaming, because nobody loves gaming when their feet are cold.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the thing. Ideally, also hand warmers, like the rechargeable hand warmers. You don't know how many times where like I have played video games like on my computer and like my hands were so cold that in between, like when I was playing Call of Duty or like Counter-Strike, I would put my hands in between like my armpits because like my hands were just cold and my reaction times are like way slower because my hands aren't warm. Like
you're doing the superstar.
I know. Smell my fingers afterwards, right? But like serious, like hand warmers are such like it's a real thing. Like if your fingers are cold, your reaction times are a lot slower. Hand warmers are a way to go. Similarly, getting some insulated water bottles or like any type of like insulated cups is fantastic because Gannon said that you can pull your drink out of the fridge, pour it into your insulated cup, and it'll always stay cold. I love that thing. And last but not least, a USB charging desk vacuum. Weird thing, I know, but I have one on my desk, and like if you're gaming and you have snacks, you're gonna get crumbs in places, right? So you should always just keep a small little tiny, vacuum on your desk, and you can just suck up all of your crumbs.
Yeah, listen to Deltron. You got to wash your ass if you must. You got to, you got to worry about the hygiene of your desk if you must, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a great call out.
I threw one more on there, and this is mainly in case my wife listens to this episode. A Tiffany's Charmander necklace. If you haven't seen Tiffany's, we all missed it. It was November 30th was the one day you could actually buy these things, but Tiffany's came out with this whole set of Pokemon things, and the Charmander necklace, hon, please. Yeah, thank you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that thing was like straight up solid gold and diamonds.
No. Only the Pikachu was solid gold. The others were sterling silver, I believe.
I think so too.
There were 2-size Pikachus that were gold, that were like stupid expensive. I'm not saying that like the Charmander wasn't expensive, but I think it was more like $1,000 or something like that in comparison to like the $29,000 that the large Pikachu was.
But it was so cute because it came in like a Pokeball with like the little Tiffany color. I would have just bought it for that, honestly.
Yeah, I think they're going on eBay right now for $2,500, which means that they probably were on $100. They're not $100, about like $1,100, $1,200. I completely forgot because I had family here because I was actually looking at it.
I'm looking at photos of it right now. I would never wear it, but it's cute. It's a Charmander. Cute. Like it's hard to go wrong with a Charmander. You know?
They have other Pokemon as well too. It's just the one personally.
God, I hope they have some of the dumb fuckers. Like, give me the one that looks like keys. Like, give me that one.
I would love to get like a little Trubbish like necklace charm. Yes. I think that'd be really cool.
Yes, exactly.
Trash.
Give me that. Oh, the Mimikin or whatever. The Pikachu. Look at like the one
Mimikyu?
that looks like
yeah.
it's skinned to Pikachu and is wearing its skin.
Yeah.
Yes.
So good.
That's what I want. All right. So this holidays, in addition to being a capitalist hellscape, they're also a time when a bunch of well-meaning Grams and Gramps got. They get scammed. They get their wallet scammed out from under them by gifts that are made to seem appealing, but are not actually as appealing as they seem. And so, for our second question, what are some gifts that might seem appealing to a gamer that people should absolutely stay away from? I'm going to go first on this one because I want to talk about the PlayStation Portal and how it is unbelievably deceptive. Now, here's the thing. It's getting good reviews. If you have a PS5 and you want like a handheld way to play it, and inexplicably you have no phone, no tablet, no other TV in your house, like there's no computer, because all of those things have the ability to play a PlayStation, you can just pair your controller with it, you get a PlayStation Portal. However, if you just look at the box of this thing, it looks like it is a handheld PlayStation system. So Grandma, Grandpa, do not buy that shit unless they already have a PS5. I promise you, it is a waste of money. Another waste of money. Your kids, grandkids, nibblings, whoever, they love Fortnite. They're like, oh yeah, Fortnite, I love it. And so you go to the store and you see a box on the shelf that says it's Fortnite for the Switch or the PS5 or the Xbox or whatever. Don't buy that shit. Fortnite is a free-to-play game, and all you are buying is the busted-ass skins on the front of it, and they don't even look good. If you want to buy somebody Fortnite V-Bucks, that's fine. It's in the gift card section. Avoid the boxed Fortnite games. I'll get off my soapbox.
Fortnite games. That's actually, that blows my mind.
Yeah, man. It's like so scammy that like you didn't even consider it a possibility.
Yeah. Mine is more of a gateway drug. Don't buy your grandkids Disney Lorcana because it's impossible to find. It's amazing. It took me 2 months to get 2 decks. I finally got them, but don't put that on your grandkids that they have to try to search to find this stuff because everything's overpriced. Because if you're going to buy it, grandma and grandpa are probably going to buy it and they're going to spend way too much money on it because you can't get it in store. But it's a fantastic little card game. I'm very excited to play it, but it took forever to get anything and it's impossible to find. They sell out in like 2 seconds. So if for some reason you were able to get one, grandma and grandpa, just return it. Don't tell those kids about it. Don't bring that into their life. Don't put that addiction in there.
We were joking about potential like gifts for one of my nibblings, and we were talking about, oh, maybe they'd like Warhammer. That was what my sister said. And I said, do not get that kid into Warhammer. Get them into crack first. It's less expensive.
It's so
True. That's
and
very
that is
true.
also true of Disney Lorcana right now because you will be paying scalper prices. So this is a great call out.
Dang. This came out this year, the trading card game, right?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. So I'm sure they couldn't even like meet demands of like the manufacturing and stuff like that.
I mean, they could have. They artificially like they're doing limited print runs of it to keep it scarce, to keep it like in demand.
Runs?
Yeah.
What's crazy too is all their accessories sell out in 2 seconds because also it's all Disney. It's official Disney like card mats and card sleeves and stuff. I walked into a Best Buy the other day to like take care of Bridget's Christmas gift, and I just happened to find their card sleeves, their Mickey Mouse card sleeves, which I'm not even gonna probably use for this game. I'll use them for one of my other decks, but like they have officially branded Disney like stuff now, so it's all, you can get all the other things for all your other card games, which it's fantastic marketing, but don't get them into that life.
Right. And it's all compatible. It's the cards are the same size as Magic cards and Pokemon cards. So you can use these sleeves like on your Pokemon deck. And so even if you're not playing Lorcana, the sleeves are in high demand. Because who doesn't want an official Mickey Mouse sleeve?
Totally.
Yeah, and Playmat, the art's great. Like they have this new one that's like it's a Winnie the Pooh wizard that looks just freaking amazing, but it was sold out within seconds of it being on the stores. So
Look, you guys don't know this about me, but I love Winnie the Pooh, and I'm pretty bummed that I didn't know this existed.
oh dude, look it up. You could use it. It would be the best mouse pad.
It's beautiful. Yeah, I'm like looking at it right now. All of the art that's like on these cards are fantastic, and it's just such a shame that this is probably going to be more of a collector's item than anything else.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. I hate that I know that this exists.
I know.
I follow so many Twitter accounts to try to find it. It's so bad.
He looks like a goddamn honeymancer. It's adorable.
I know, it's so amazing.
Oh, I'm pissed off now.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have brought this into your life. I did everything wrong. I apologize to the both of you.
But you're right. Like it's definitely very appealing, but we probably should really stay away from it because I feel like this would be a money sink. Like just like Pokemon cards back in the day, right? Like you would just try your darn hardest to find like these booster packs and then just open them and see what you get inside. And then I feel like this is going to be something that people are going to keep forever because Disney's just one of those iconic companies and their IP is just so iconic that like everybody would want to collect something like this.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good call.
Oh my God.
What
I
you
hate
got, Mel?
you so much, Gannon. I want this now. Lorcana, like I feel like I don't know how I can follow this up now. Third-party Switch docks. You may think it's a great idea because, like, you know, Switch docks can possibly go bad, but to be honest, like, there's a lot of third-party Switch docks that can actually brick your system, and I would just highly recommend that you just stay away from it. You don't want to buy something that's like $30 because it's a third party, thing, and then you use your Switch on it, and next thing you know, your $300-$400 Switch is dead. So don't do it. Just buy the Nintendo branded stuff. I would also say
that's smart.
Yeah, and I would also say don't confuse the Backbone 1 for the PlayStation Portal. Just don't buy either because they're not worth it.
Good call. Good call. The only thing worse than buying something that doesn't work with your Switch is buying something that breaks your Switch. And a lot of the third-party Switch docks will do that. So that's a really, really good call out.
I'm learning so much today. It's great.
I'm learning that Honeymancer is a thing. Anyway, all right, let's go console by console. Let's pretend that you are buying a game for somebody with a Nintendo Switch. Which game would it be? I'm going to go first because I'm just going to hit all of the obvious ones, and then I'll let you guys hit some of the lesser obvious ones. Mario Wonder, I have not yet played but it's in my backlog. It is supposed to be an absolute masterpiece. Get it. Tears of the Kingdom, much the same thing. Absolute masterpiece. Get it. Also, most importantly, if they do not have a Pro controller yet for their Switch, and they have a Switch OLED, not the like Switch Lite, get them a Pro controller. It feels so good in the hand in comparison to the Joy-Cons. It is a game changer for the Switch. All right, that's the obvious stuff. Mel, what do you got that's less obvious?
One, Mario Wonder is freaking fantastic. I don't play Mario games, but I'm playing that game and I'm like very much enjoying it. The other game I want to put out there is called Suka the Game. It's literally you drop down fruits, you mash the fruits together and it becomes bigger fruits. It's only $3 on the Nintendo Game Store. Totally worthwhile to play. Very fun. Lots of replayability. I've been watching Josh play Mario RPG, which I think is the remake of the original one. And that has been very goofy to watch because there's a thing that's supposed to be a frog, but really isn't a frog, but then also is a frog. Who knows? But it's just very funny in general. And then out of all the rest of the games, Animal Crossing, because like that's one of my favorite games and I want everybody to play that game.
And the fact that they're still supporting it with like updates and all of that several years after its launch is legitimately impressive. They did not have to do that. They put out some big shit that they could have charged money for as DLC that they just didn't. So it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to echo Wonder, obviously. Sea of Stars is on all platforms, but the Switch and Steam Deck are probably the best for it because being able to play it portable, a fantastic RPG. Monster Hunter Rise continues to be just one of the great games for the Switch. If you are a fan of the Monster Hunter series and the Sunbreak DLC, they finally have come to the conclusion of all the free updates after you purchase the original Sunbreak expansion. So there's a ton of content that's out there, and we're coming up on the 20th anniversary in March of Monster Hunter. So that's exciting that there may be more stuff. I'm hoping this week at the Game Awards we find out more, but that's a big rumor mill thing right now. So if you want to get in the mood for Monster Hunter Rise is great. And then one that I picked up because my wife loves this series is Everybody 1-2 Switch. When the Switch first dropped, they did 1-2 Switch, which was a great little demo of like mini games that kind of taught you how the haptic controllers worked. Everybody 1-2 Switch is really fun because it is a team-based game, but it also includes the ability to use smartphones. So it's a great party game. It's like a Jack in the Box for your Switch, which I think there is Jack in the Box on the Switch as well too.
There is.
But if you want something that's a little bit more like Joy-Con friendly, like there's like this whole pass the baton thing where you like run with your phone and then you like run with your fingers on your phone and then you have to like pass it to the next person. If you use the Joy-Con, you actually are like shaking it up and down and stuff. So just some great team-based fun that's on the Switch. That's one of those like just like air sports where anybody can play. It's a great way to like get people involved in your gaming if they have no experience before.
Yeah. Nice. I totally forgot about that game and I'm like, man, I kind of want to play that now.
Yeah. Yeah, we picked it up on Black Friday for like it was like $8 on Amazon because we saw that Everybody 1-2 Switch, which came out in July, I think, of this year, was so cheap, and we were like, my wife loves it. So
yeah, it's
awesome.
good to play with kids too.
Yeah. That's a whole nother thing. Charlie's learned how to do Nintendo Sports Bowling right now. It's the best thing in the world for me. I'm loving it. But that's a whole side conversation. We can talk later.
That is awesome. One game that I didn't put on my list, but I would highly recommend for anybody with a Switch who is looking for something to get them a little more active. We covered this in our fitness games, but Ring Fit for the Switch is actually really, really awesome. I've been picking it up a lot more. Buy it and buy them a yoga mat at the same time because there's a lot of shit that you need to do like on the floor. And I was on like a wood floor and that's not a great way to do that. But putting down a yoga mat solved a lot of those problems for me. And so I would highly recommend Ring Fit as well. All right, so moving on from the Switch to the PlayStation 5, which game would you wrap up for them? I am, again, going to go first with the obvious choices. One that's a little bit older in Cyberpunk. It is finally time where Super OK can recommend Cyberpunk to people. They have put the work in. CD Projekt Red has turned it around, and it's to the point where it's like, yeah, if you haven't yet played Cyberpunk, go ahead, get it. Give it a whirl. It's going to be a good time. I hear the expansion is also awesome. It is also on my backlog, so I haven't had a chance to play it yet. And the reason for that is coming up very soon, I imagine. But it's one of the few games that I packed with me for this trip. And so I'm very much looking forward to it. And then the other obvious one is Spider-Man 2. It's a masterpiece. I watched a bunch of people play this on Twitch. It is one that I will be playing soon. The first one was absolutely amazing. Miles Morales was absolutely amazing. Spider-Man 2 looks to follow suit. So you cannot go wrong with either of those games. What are the ones that you guys are recommending here?
I am going to put in God of War Ragnarok. That game was freaking fantastic. I cried through that game. I didn't think it was going to be as good as the original one, and it turned out to be almost better in a way. Just based on the story, the gameplay was pretty much identical, but like that game was fantastic. And I'm gonna throw in Final Fantasy VII in this one, the remake, because that one was just a delight. You know, if you played Final Fantasy before, like Final Fantasy VII before, and now you played this remake, it is just so interesting to see how they have reimagined some of these areas and like what they did with like the characters. And it was truly a fantastic game. But you
And the
Ganon.
second one of that like trilogy of the remake is coming out
Yes.
in 2024, right?
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah, so you'll be gearing them up for that as well.
Mhm.
I mean, Mel, you have a few others that I also put down here, so I'm just going to say them as well. Final Fantasy 16, fantastic acting, fantastic music, fantastic gameplay. As Final Fantasy does, it is a new kind of style. It's a little bit more action RPG than a traditional RPG, which has been kind of their MO for a bit, but even more so in this one, as it's more of a singular character focused game. But I still thought it was very well done. And then, I mean, who doesn't love Baldur's Gate 3? Like, we've gone on enough. We've had episodes on it, but we're just... In case Helgarina's listening, and somehow she doesn't know about Baldur's Gate 3, that's the one, Helga. That's the one.
She does not like it when you call her Helga, but that is also the reason why I have completed no other games in my backlog, is because we are still playing Baldur's Gate 3. I am in Act 3. I am both excited to finish it and also very bummed to be finishing it soon-ish, question mark. I don't know. This game's fucking wild. There might be another 100 hours of content. There's so much shit in this game.
I mean, to be honest, they just dropped another big release this past week, last week or something like that. And now they have like even more dialogue. They even have an epilogue that I didn't get to play, but Dale, you're probably going to be able to play because you're still in Act 3. So I'm like excited for you to see like what's going to happen with that.
Yeah,
isn't there like a hardcore mode too?
Yeah, there's two more modes that they created, like an honor mode and something else. I forgot what the other one is, but like
true, like if you die, isn't it like death is death? Like that's what I thought. Or maybe I haven't honestly. It's honorable mode or whatever, and I think that's I don't know enough. I haven't looked into it.
Here's the thing: I looked at the patch notes. I saw that the dogs now had jiggle physics, and I was like, "Yep, that's all I needed." Diving in, baby.
Yeah. There's definitely some new fights that happen in the game, which is really exciting. Yeah, it's called Honor Mode and Custom Mode. They're the two new game modes that they have out there.
Crazy.
And what's super nice now, Dale, that you can play, Baldur's Gate, like the newest update, is that you can manage and access inventories of companions that are in your party, which I have wanted since day one, and now that it has it, I'm just like, I need to play this game again.
Yep, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah,
good call. Baldur's Gate is not yet available on the Xbox, but it will be soon. So other than Baldur's Gate 3, if you've got somebody who's an Xbox fanatic, what is the right buy for them this year?
I mean, I'm just going to come out and say it. Just an eBay account so that they can sell their Xbox. Like, I have no faith in Xbox right now. I think Microsoft is doing great, but just buy a PC if you're going to play Xbox games at this point. Or like with the move and the growth in the mobile PC market, the ROG Ally, like I'll talk a bit more about those things later, but like there's just better options out there if you want to play Xbox exclusives.
Yeah. That being said, there is one thing that you can get on an Xbox that you cannot get on either a PS5 or a Switch, and that is Game Pass. You can get Game Pass on the Xbox, and that is, as we've talked about, the best value in gaming. There's a bunch of awesome brand new day one releases. All the Yakuza games are coming out day one there. Like, there's a bunch of cool stuff. There's a game that just dropped. I cannot remember. Shit, I just blanked on the name. But it's like a pigeon themed rhythm battle royale game that dropped to Xbox Game Pass on day one. It's a ton of fun to play. There's a game about like cooking for all your various suitors that, again, I cannot remember the name of, but it looks awesome. I'm going to look those up real quick while Mel talks to us about her Xbox recommendations.
Yeah, I really don't have any Xbox recommendations. I mean, at this point, like if you know somebody that has an Xbox, buy them Xbox exclusive games, I guess.
But
but
which
like really
one?
don't need
There's
to.
so many.
Like,
Which one of the
I know,
exclusive?
like Forza maybe, or because like, you know, people love a good racing game. I threw in Starfield out there because everybody thought Starfield was going to be great, and it's an okay game. It's like what you expect out of a Bethesda game, you know. Maybe even throw Call of Duty in there. Like I mean, these are just like very basic, you know, Xbox games that you probably could play some of these on like Game Pass, but eh, eh,
All right.
eh.
So games that recently have come to Game Pass that are exciting include Remnant 2, which Remnant 1 was awesome.
Remnant 2's cool.
Rollerdrome, which I am pissed about because I just bought it on Steam. Coral Island, which Mel, I think you've been playing a bunch of.
I love Coral Island.
The game that
So
I
good.
was thinking of but could not remember the name of is called Headbangers Rhythm Royale, and it's kind of like Fall Guys, but everyone's a pigeon, and it's all rhythm games. There is the other one that I was thinking of is called Thirsty Suitors, and it's a game about basically like being an Indian girl, like going through a bunch of different potential suitors, and like you have to cook for your family, but then there's like turn-based battles and like all of this cool stuff. The game looks like an absolute masterpiece. And then Miniko's Night Market, which also just kind of looks like a love letter to Japanese culture. And is like this whimsical, cozy, absolutely gorgeous looking game. And when you buy Game Pass, you get access to all of these games on your Xbox. And if you don't have an Xbox but you have a PC, you can have access to them there as well, to Ganon's point. So Game Pass Ultimate is a real bargain when it comes to games.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if any of us talked about it. Starfield is like a middling game that came out recently, and that's also on Game Pass. But it's also an Xbox exclusive. So if they don't have the internet, but you want to get them a game that's huge, get them No Man's Sky. But if they already have that and they love it, get them Starfield, and it'll be a fine replacement, I guess.
Chained Echoes is leaving Game Pass, so beat that in the next week if you haven't played it yet. That breaks my heart.
I will say for like if you are buying for an Xbox fan, like Xbox does a really good job of releasing like cool controllers, like limited edition controllers. So I would, you know, if you know somebody who owns an Xbox, look into one of those because there's some awesome ones out there. I have this limited edition Sea of Thieves one that glows in the dark, and one of the triggers is actually gold to like mimic like a gold tooth on a pirate, and it's like one of my favorite controllers. It's just very, very cool.
That's a good call. I know we shit on Xbox like exclusives. There are obviously a fantastic amount of games that are also on there. So if you're an Xbox fanboy, I'm sorry, I guess.
Well, but like also we're not sorry because like you get a lot of great stuff through Game Pass, you know, like and that's probably the best play for anybody who owns an Xbox, honestly.
Yeah. Speaking of Xbox controllers, they just recently brought out a Willy Wonka exclusive Xbox Series X, and if you win it, it also comes with an edible controller. It doesn't work. It's just a replica. It's made of chocolate. It's an edible Xbox controller.
Interesting.
I don't know. Oh, another thing about the Xbox. If you've got somebody who has one and you're buying them a controller, it is also the best controller to pair with a PC, pair with a mobile platform, like that sort of shit. Outside of, you know, like the one that is designed, like you can pair it with a Switch and it's a great controller, right? So just know that. Cool. All right. So let's say you're looking to go big. You're going to buy a console for someone. Which console would you recommend that people buy and why?
I think the obvious.
Take it.
Yeah, take it. The obvious
Steam
answer.
Deck.
There we go.
Steam Deck. I mean, you have 3 huge Steam Deck fans here, especially with the OLED that just came out. I was able to get the OLED limited edition, but it's the same internals as the current OLED, and it's just everything about it's amazing. It's actually, the OLED's a bigger upgrade, mid-gen upgrade than they've even let on at all. SkillUp has a fantastic video if you want to like learn more, because they've downplayed how much of an upgrade it is. Like, but it's a pretty significant upgrade.
They could have called this Steam Deck 2, and people would have been like, well, I can't believe they didn't update the chipset, but otherwise it makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they didn't, and they kept it the same price, which means that technically it's a better value, which is insane.
Mhm. Yeah, and they lowered the price of the current gen one, and you can get it at like 256, right? So that's Valve is kicking it out of the park with that. If you, for some reason, like I said and mentioned in the previous question, if you are really an Xbox like Microsoft fanboy, the ROG Ally is also a great console. It's great for Windows because it is a Windows OS, and you don't want to like do the whole side loading of Windows OS on your Steam Deck if you're not a power user like that, and you want to be able to use Windows and use your stuff natively on there. The ROG Ally has done great things, and I think it has some more integration because it's by Asus, if I'm not mistaken, for being able to like do things like game captures and things like that, which is great for content creators.
Yeah. Side note, I heard that the Steam Deck is going to allow dual booting so that you can do both Linux and Windows if you truly wanted to.
My uncle worked at Nintendo, and he said that they were going to buy the Steam Deck and release it, and you could dual boot into the Switch OS. Sorry, I just had to.
Stuff.
Anyway,
that would be crazy. But I have not paid enough attention to the news if that is a true or not true thing.
Yeah, it sounds too good to be true, but it would be very cool if it were real. Bouncing off of what Gannon said, Steam Deck is a great choice as long as the person you are buying it for has some sort of technological understanding. It is not the most easy to use interface. It requires you to set up an account. All of your games have to come digitally. Sometimes it can be a little bit finicky. That's all, and all of those things are because Valve is constantly tweaking it and trying to make it better and that sort of thing. And so, like, every once in a while, it'll be like, oh, this update requires me to like reboot my system twice for some reason, or go into desktop mode to like really get the most out of it, like that sort of thing. So if you have somebody where you're buying it for them and you're like, I don't want them to have to think, or they're younger and you don't want them to have to deal with that sort of stuff because it would be a point of frustration, at that point I would recommend getting them a Nintendo Switch. Right? The Nintendo Switch, especially the OLED version, is gorgeous. It'll hook up to a TV, act as a regular console. You can then pull it out. It works exactly like the commercials look like it works. So if you've been like debating, oh man, does like that looks too good to be true? No, it really is like you pick it up and you're playing on the system. Like it is. Before the Steam Deck, it was really cool technology.
Right.
And the games that Nintendo is putting out for it are exclusive and absolute masterpieces. And so you're not going to go wrong buying a Switch, even though odds are there will be a new Switch or the predecessor or whatever comes next, if not 2025, 2026. Right? There's even a possibility of late 2024, but I don't think that's going to happen. But keep in mind, that's all speculation. My dad does not actually work at Nintendo, so I don't know for sure. But Switch is a great second choice beyond, like a great distant second choice beyond the Steam Deck. Mel, what do you got?
I was just about to say, this is a console that I recently bought for my husband. This is the thing that I kind of been alluding to. I bought my husband this. It's called an analog console, an analog pocket adapter, pocket system. Essentially, it allows you to play Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games natively on the actual on the actual thing, and the screen resolution is freaking beautiful. You can also buy cartridges cartridge adapters for, other types of games. I think they mentioned that you can buy for like Game Gear or something like that, and a whole bunch of other different systems. And you could put, it's not really designed for emulation, but you could do it if you really wanted to. And you can also have a dock to, dock your pocket on and play on your TV. And it's I thought it was kind of stupid at first, because I was like, why would you need this? Like, there's so many other like consoles that are out there that could like, do what it is that you're doing here. But like Josh, like found one of my old Pokemon Yellows and he stuck it into the thing and he's like, look, I can pull up your save and like you can play this like on this device. And it looked fantastic. Like it didn't have like that same like rendering of like the old Game Boys. There's different modes of how you want to play the game. Like you can play it in like that old resolution if you want to, or you can kind of like upscale it. And it plays fantastically. Like there was no lag, like you can see like some of the frames like lagging, like there wasn't any of that. And it was just a very enjoyable experience to like play some of these retro games like on a device that felt like a Game Boy. Yeah, I would recommend this.
This is a great call out. Anything made by Analog, like I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos on, there's a million different like little handheld emulation things. But anything made by Analog gets great reviews because, like you said, it's not actually emulating. They have basically reverse engineered the chipset. So it's like you're actually playing it on a Game Boy or a Game Boy Pocket or a Game Boy Color or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's just such a cool little, it's definitely a niche thing.
It is.
But if you have somebody who grew up with a Game Boy and all they like want to do is to be able to play a Game Boy on an absolutely pristine system, this is a really good recommendation, Mel. Yeah. Really good.
It feels really good. I was just like thinking about like this would be a perfect like console for Zando. Like I know that he loves like retro games, and like if he had some of his old like cartridges, like he could stick that directly into this and just play from where he left off like decades ago if he wanted to.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Nice.
I will also say that if you're trying to buy one of these, it is very, very limited. Like they will only release it on a certain date, and there's only so many that you can order. I think they have like a limit of like 2 per order. And when this first got like, they had like a whole bunch of limited edition items that like was like for sale in November or something like that when I bought it, and they sold out immediately. There was like some colors that were still left over, like pink. Pink was like one of the last ones that were there, and maybe like a red color or something like that. But within a week, they were gone. So
they have that transparent purple limited edition.
Yeah, they had some really cool ones. They had like some of the old Game Boy Game Boy colors that were really cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They have a glow in the dark one that I thought was really awesome. Yeah. But
that's nasty.
It's a solid, cool. A very solid device.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's very cool. All right. So let's say we're moving on from consoles and you want to get the person in your life that you care about the gift that keeps on giving, which is a subscription service. There are a ton of these. Which do you recommend? I'm going to go first and I'm going to go fast because I already talked about how much I love Game Pass. Game Pass is the obvious choice if they have an Xbox or a PC. Right? Game Pass Ultimate lets you play it on both. I have Game Pass set up on my Steam Deck. It's great there. I've played it on my iPad, streaming from the cloud. It works awesome there. It's awesome. Another great thing would be a Discord membership. If they are online a bunch playing with friends, a Discord membership allows them to upload bigger files. It allows them better voice quality, better recording quality, and they can make their profile inside Discord really goofy and fun. And so it's cool. Definitely not a need to have, but a fun to have. And so it's probably the sort of thing that your average gamer isn't going to buy for themselves, which makes it a perfect gift. And then lastly, for PC gamers, Humble Bundle offers a subscription service called Humble Choice, where every month you get a carefully curated selection of games that you just now own on Steam. And that's really cool to have like a Game of the Month club for PC gamers. And I've looked at like previous ones. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Humble Bundle. They do a great job with these. So you can't go wrong with this as a choice for PC gamers. What do you guys got?
So I don't know if mine's controversial or not, but it's like it's like you said, it's something that someone may not have bought from themselves if they already have a subscription, and that's the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. I think that it's a really cool thing to be able to play some of the old, like it allows you to get a bunch of the other systems, the other Nintendo systems on there, and even the Sega Genesis and some of the old Sega games. That is great. I know some people there's the whole tie-in with DLC and like what happens if you no longer pay for it. They have some weird things when it comes to what happens to your you don't get to keep like DLC after if you stop paying for the subscription, which has its pluses and minuses. Yeah, Dale.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just like shrugging. Like, yeah, of course, you stopped paying for the thing that gives you the thing. Yeah. Like, you lose access to the thing. Like, that's just normal. Like, that's how everything works these days. Like, I get it.
That's fair. But they just continue to add more and more things, especially in the Super Nintendo or the N64. Clay's was just sharing with me that he's been playing through Paper Mario on that. Which I have never played, and when I found out that it was there, I'm very excited to go actually play through Paper Mario, the original on 64 for the first time, and kind of follow up on that Mario RPG life, and play more. So that's one that I've really enjoyed, being able to play some of my Game Boy Advance games. Golden Sun's in there now, just some fantastic games are in there.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
This is a really good call out because I don't even have this because I never I didn't play the N64, and so I didn't have like nostalgia for it. So I didn't even buy it. So odds are people that you have, even if they have the Switch Online functionality, they might not have the X-Pack. This is a really good call out.
Mm-hmm. I wish I had a good call out. Final Fantasy 14 subscriptions, because it's probably one of the best MMOs out there.
Oh, so
probably
when I said get them on crack, you meant like literally.
Get them fully addicted, like IV into their vein type of thing. But it's a solid game. Like it's great. Like
it is
like
awesome.
I've never played a better MMO, honestly.
It's the best fishing MMO out there.
I would agree. I mean, I played just for the fishing more than half the time. I would wait for the boat. And then
you gotta get on the boat, man.
But aside from that, I also was thinking about a lot of people are watching Twitch nowadays. Like, if you figure out what their favorite streamer is, gift them a sub, like a 3-month sub or a 6-month sub to that streamer, so they would never have to watch ads. Like, I wish that somebody gifted me a sub to some of my favorite streamers, because some of the ads are ridiculous and very long, and I would just rather not have to watch them.
Yeah, and Twitch Turbo is also something that you can purchase for people. It's like $12 a month, but it makes everything on Twitch ad free. And despite the fact that it's owned by Amazon, you get a decent payout still as a creator on Twitch when one of your viewers has Twitch Turbo. So it's cool.
Very cool.
So, not that I want to advocate for giving Jeff Bezos more money, but at the same time, it's not like there's a valid competitor.
True.
So I get it. Cool. Any other subscription services that we didn't talk about? Oh, you wrote down, I didn't talk about this, Humble Bundle. It also, a portion of your proceeds goes towards charity. So definitely worth thinking about. And if you're looking for a favorite streamer for them to sub to, you can always pick a 20-sided ninja. Who knows if that guy's going to come back or not? His house is still fucking floating. Anyway, any other gift ideas that we did not cover? Any gifting tips and tricks?
The arcade 1-up Turtles in Time, just because Turtles in Time is the best arcade game ever.
True.
It's $700, so it's definitely not something that you're going to buy for anybody. And it does only think it'll have 2 games in comparison to a lot of the other 1-ups, so it's probably a terrible decision. But mainly, once again, Bridget, if you're listening to this episode, the arcade 1-up Turtles in Time with the riser. Yep, that's great.
I have a whole list of gifts and tricks and tips and tricks, but some of the ones that are highly notable, if you buy anything that requires batteries, make sure that you include the batteries in your presents, because trying to find batteries on Christmas Day is nearly impossible. So just plan ahead.
Yep.
And then additionally, sometimes people don't want to wear video game shirts. Enamel pins are also a really good alternative for people who want to sport their favorite video games without having to be overly expressive about it. And then gaming chairs. If you want to buy a gaming chair, just don't, unless somebody has specifically asked you to buy them a chair that they want, because a lot of the chairs that you find in Best Buy or Walmart are extremely cheaply made and very uncomfortable.
And it will make your favorite gamer play poorly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the only way you play well is with a good gaming chair.
Yeah.
Agreed.
If you have a bad chair, your frames go down.
Mm-hmm.
It knows. Those are all really good call outs, especially the part about pins, because it's like, yeah, I wear gaming t-shirts like every day. I'm not today. I'm wearing one that has Tane on it. It's a Tim and Eric sketch. I own 3 t-shirts regarding one sketch, but I'm a maniac, right? And so the average person is not a crazy human, and so they're not going to want to wear video game gear every day. But you get them a little pin, they can put it on, a bag. They can put it on a lapel if they're doing something fun and casual, like that sort of thing. It lets them choose when to accessorize in that way, without being like overly garish. So really good call out. My call out is to stay away from all of the tchotchkes at Target. It's just in a Target. All that shit is both weak and overpriced. It's the double whammy, right? Because it's like poorly made bullshit that's just there as nostalgia bait, and they're charging too much for their poorly made bullshit. If you want poorly made bullshit, you can go on Think Geek, right? You can get a bunch of poorly made bullshit that's nostalgia bait for a much more reasonable price. Do not buy it from Target.
I would like some clarification there, because I think there is still some gems at Target. They do actually have a section of toys and things that are like legit toys. Like I have this, I have the Turtles in Time Street Fighter combo that was only in Target.
I'm more talking about like, here is a miniature Pac-Man lunchbox that has a set of 4 cardboard coasters inside, and it's $20, right? Like, go fuck yourself, Target. Like, eat 2 asses. Anyway, so yeah, don't buy any of that shit. If there's a specific thing, if somebody has asked you for a specific thing from Target or from any of the other big box retailers because it's exclusive to that retailer, that's a whole different thing. What I'm saying is, like, if you're walking by and you're like, oh, cool, an Ash from Evil Dead piggy bank, nobody wants that shit and you're overpaying for it. Like, that's the point I was trying to make.
That's fair.
I'm going to get down off my my Target branded soapbox, and we're going to talk about our final question, which is sponsored by the Ghost of Christmas Past. He just said all past Christmases should have sucked, and if they didn't, that was a glitch. What is the worst gift that you have ever gotten, and why did it suck? So I don't know what his deal is, but talk to me about your worst gift ever.
I honestly think I may have blocked them out, and maybe the one thing that I kept going back to, but I wanted to, I want to make sure that I'm saying this in the right way, is like the things that not hurt me, but kind of let me down the most as a kid were like, I was really excited for a specific franchise or something like that, and then getting like the off franchise thing, or like. But I also know that some people have amazing experiences where like they want a Pokemon and then they got Digimon, and then Digimon was like something awesome for them. So like I feel like in a weird spot for saying some of this stuff, but like I remember getting like Mega Bloks when I wanted specific Lego sets, and like really it's important to listen, especially when you're dealing with younger people, and well, anybody really listen to if they ask for something or if they talk. Like like try to listen to them and not put what you think they want.
Right.
Or what's on sale at Kohl's.
Right.
Like, I feel like so many of my things are like, oh, we have Kohl's Cash, and that's what we got that.
I think it's different if they're like, I want a Tamagotchi, and you get them a Digimon because you think that they will enjoy that more. Like you have put thought and heart into that gift, as opposed to like, I really want like the 4 turtles, and you get them the 4 Street Sharks. Right. And it's like
Street Sharks are so cool.
Street Sharks
really
are cool, but if you want the turtles, like you want the turtles, right? That's a different thing.
Yeah. Yeah. My Josh will always say that my mother-in-law is very similar in that manner. Like you ask for a very specific type of headphones, and she will buy you something that's cheaper because they're headphones, but they're cheaper and they're not the same, but this is what you wanted, right? Like it's really not. But I totally get that. Yeah. I also really don't like when adults buy me clothes because they think that they know what my fashion sense is. And I always feel bad because like I want to appreciate the gifts that they get me, but then they buy me this like really ugly dress or really ugly sweater that's just extra frumpy, and I just can't. I don't know what to do with it. I just have to donate it because like I don't want to necessarily like return it, but I also don't want to wear it.
Oh man, that's great. That is great. My answer for this is I was dating this girl, and she decided to go to Disney World over Christmas break from college. And then I found out later that she did not go to Disney World. She just did not want to spend the holidays with me.
Oof.
And so when she got back from her trip, we exchanged gifts, and I got her like a pretty nice piece of jewelry, not like an insanely nice. We'd only been dating for a couple months, but like a nice-ish necklace. And she got me a broken statue that she had got on clearance from a Spencer's Gifts from the Sleepy Hollow movie. A movie that I had not even seen. I do not give a shit about Johnny Depp. I have no idea what the deal was. And I was like, I'm going to return this. And I went to return it, and they were like, you don't have the receipt, so we have to give it to you we have to give you the lowest price that we've ever sold it for. And that is $4.
Wow.
And so I just left. So Kristen, if you're out there, you suck, man.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
It is.
That's a core memory right there.
I mean, it's here's the thing. It's pretty goddamn funny.
I think what happened is that this came up in Dale's memory recently, and then he wrote this outline from this question solely so that he could have his soapbox to talk about this Sleepy Hollow gift.
Oh,
everything was worked backwards from this.
Wouldn't that be great? Oh man. All right, one last question. If you had to buy a gift for Dan, what would it be?
Ooh, I don't know.
Well, this is an audio medium, but you just definitely flipped off the camera, waited a beat, and then flipped it off with your other finger, and it was great.
That's what you're supposed to give them, right?
I'm gonna be completely serious on this one. I think if you have any fantastic Steam games for the Steam Deck, Dan just recently got a Steam Deck. He had some fantastic luck and pulled $8,000 knife in Counter-Strike and then sold it directly that night and got himself an OLED Steam Deck. So give Dan your suggestions. We give Dan a lot of shit. We say fuck you a lot, but I'm gonna have a little heart right now because I haven't been on the episode in a bit, and I would say give Dan your suggestions on games, maybe like an aim trainer, something that makes him better at games. That would be cool.
I like how you were like, I'm gonna give him some heart, and then you just shit on him. That's amazing.
I love you, Dan. I love you, Dan.
Love you too, Dan. I was gonna say give him a dildo so he can go fuck himself.
Whoa, that's a solid. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a great stocking stuffer.
I mean,
Anyway. All right,
Perfect for
I
a
think
family event.
that's enough here. That's enough here. Why don't you tell the people where you can be found?
I'm found in the Discord a lot of nights. We've been playing Lethal Company, like Mel said. We've been playing some HOTS again because that got a Heroes of the Storm.
Wow.
A lot of Counter-Strike and Valorant, so we're there late nights. Come hang out.
I'm Melephant. You can find me on Discord as Melephant, and I think I want to like come and join the Lethal Company crew. That sounds like fun.
Nice. I am a 20-sided ninja in the Discord and also on Blue Sky. Yeah, come hang out. I might not be there now, but I will be soon because hopefully my house stops floating soon. All right. If you're listening to this still, thanks so much for listening. Helgina, was that what I said her name was? What did I say? Helgarina.
Helgarina.
If you made it all the way through, let us know in the Discord, man. I'll send you a Steam game. We'll play rounds together or something. I love that game.
That's a great game.
Let's get Helgarina in the Discord every night. All right. I said it at the beginning, but I'm going to say it again. It was a true delight to be here with both of you. And thanks everybody so much. Say goodbye.
Bye,
Goodbye,
y'all.
everybody.
Hope you have a super okay day. Bye.